market. And you can see that, that there was a bill introduced in December the previous year, so on the 28th of December, which actually the politicians try to freeze the prices of energy rising, which actually cannot be done. And they're not experimenting with that anymore, but generally this heavily influences the energy because, as you can see, and you can check the quotations of CO2 emissions on the market, they are more or less 23, 25 euro per megawatt hour produced, per ton of CO2 emitted. So for Polish economy, this means more or less this year 13 billion euro zloty of burden on Polish economy, only on the energy sector, only through the energy sector.
Black pen, please.
Pardon?
Black pen.
Use black pen. Oh, black pen, of course. There is one that I thought the red was more alarming, but yeah. So the
for coal energy, black.
Yeah, for coal energy we'll be using black. So the total emissions are more or less 300 million. So the total amount that's the bill for energy and climate policy only for this year. More or less, it's a big figure, so generally that's the influence on Polish economy through the climate and energy policy. And as I spoke with Marek, we had a professor that was that has this introduction to lectures, and he said that there's a good speech when there is a good ending and a good beginning, and these two are close together. So to remember, one thing to remember from this is that we will be dead due to the abundance of CO2 emissions or due to the prices of CO2 emissions, because this generally one interacts with the rest of the economy. So heavily influencing the competitiveness of Polish economy. And now, what does it mean in, what's the big picture? So the big picture is that when you produce 1 megawatt hour of energy in Poland, the emissions are more or less 863, it's from the Ministry of Energy, former Ministry of Energy data, more or less 863 kilograms of CO2 per 1 megawatt of produced energy. And when you produce computers, furniture, or whatever, you use megawatts. So to compare, you use the emissions per megawatt hour. As to compare it with the average of European Union, the average is more or less 300. And for Germany, it's less than 400. So today, the prices on interconnectors, or in Poland comparing to our neighbors, the prices in Poland are higher. For Polish industry, the prices of electric energy is higher than in Germany. So it's heavily influencing the competitiveness of Polish economy through the energy sector. As it has been mentioned, the 80% of coal generation means that there are certain local problems, social problems, like in Bełchatów, in Turów, in 15 years, because, for example, the lignite production emits over 1,000 kilograms of CO2 per megawatt hour, and most of our utilities have the infrastructure to emit between 700 to up to 800, 900 on hard coal. So generally, the Polish sector needs a lot of investments, but the pressure actually is a financial pressure, because this is the burden on Polish economy for the time being. And this is, we are just taking today's prices that are influencing the situation. Imagine how imagine the situation. We have a panic with the coronavirus now. Imagine the situation when the CO2 emissions will double, and this is in European documents, in European think tanks' agendas. It's possible that it double or be, I don't know, 50%, 40% more than today. Poland is the last country with such a high inefficiency in energy sector. And the problem is that every politician, and that's the problem of politicians. I'm talking 5 minutes, right? So one more?
One more.
So the problem with politicians is that every short term in energy sector is 10 to 15 years. That's the short term. That's the short period of decision making, of things lasting, and more or less it's twice as much or 3 times as much as every turn of any politician, right? So this is the problem, that some kind of a consensus needs to be implemented, like in Sweden or in Denmark, because this is an extremely important thing that will be influencing our economy for decades. So on one hand, it's a heavy burden already on Polish economy, and the need for new investment is huge, because 70% of our fleet of the existing power plants are 50 years old plus. So generally, the hundreds of billions of zlotys need to be implemented, need to be invested in the sector alone. So it's also a threat, but also a possibility, opportunity for new business. And concluding, this is the year 2050. I'm not a big fan of concentrating on what will be happening in 2050. Although I'm happy to announce that I'm announcing that I would like to be alive at that point. But generally, there's the 2030 also benchmark. But imagine the problem for Polish economy when you have an average. So the angle for Polish change, for Polish energy transition is the widest. The most problems are put on Polish economy because no other country has this kind of, this scale is as big as Poland, and it has this problem to such a scale as Poland does. So the influence is there, the pressure is there, the money is not there, the problem is, let's say, growing.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marcin, for that graphic detail on the issue. Now for the monetary part of the debate. So we're talking about changing fiscal rules, where there's also some debates on how to impose new taxation, for example, on the new level. There are also some economists who say that monetary policy can play a role in fixing the issues and problems. And this is for the next debate, and I wanted to have Pierre Monin, who's a senior fellow at the Council of Economic Policies in Switzerland, who came here to talk about these matters.
Thank you very much, and congratulations for linking monetary policy with fiscal policy. It's not a natural thing to do. It's pretty new. When we started working on this issue a few years ago, no central bankers were convinced that central banks can do something for the environment. That's changed now. And let me tell you why I think it's important in a nutshell. As you mentioned, if we want to transition, then we're going to realign a lot of our financial flows on the transition. And this financial sector has to do that. And central banks are at the heart of the financial sector. So the policy that the central bank is implementing is also shaping what financial markets are doing. So if you don't align central bank policies with the transition, then you might go against the effort of the financial sector to align their funding on the transition as well. So I will be brief. I think that we can distinguish two things when it comes to central banks. I think there are things that central bank must do regarding climate change, and there are things that they can do. Things that they must do, for me, it's pretty clear, is they have to, central bank have to take climate risks, climate financial risk into account across all their activities. So the first thing that you have to, I think, acknowledge now is that climate risks are financial risks. So this conclusion is not mine, it's from the NGFS, it's a network for greening the financial system, it's a network of more than 50 central banks that now acknowledge climate risks are financial risks. There are two types of risk, it's physical risk and transition risk. And I think that central banks should take into account climate financial risk at least in two of their policies regarding first the financial stability, the stability of the financial system, and in their monetary policy operation as well. So let me just take a few minutes to just explain why they should do that, and then I will tell you also what they could do or can do more than just taking into account climate risks. So there are two types of risk associated with climate change, two types of financial risk. The first one is physical risk, the second one transition risk. So with climate warming, for example, you're going to have a lot of change in a lot of physical events that will impact the economy. I think one sector which will be impacted first is agriculture, for example, and you might have drought or storms, and all these events, they have economic costs.